What is going on, guys? It's your boy Chris here. Um, you all know why I'm here for this one. You all know what came out, and you know why I'm talking about it. And that's going to be Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire. Let's get this part out of the way right now. If you go into this expecting Godzilla -1, that's on you. I mean, why would you do that? For anyone who complains that it's not like -1, that's on you. What were you expecting? It's not gonna be that type of movie. It's a different whole another universe of films. So there's that. But the biggest thing is, the biggest thing that anyone should care about is, does it deliver on the monster on monster action? And the answer is yes. And it delivers in spades. The biggest thing I enjoyed in this movie, um, honestly, was the Scar King. Um, when he first appears in the fight with Kong, but he had this kind of like, I don't know how to other to describe it. He had this kind of like movement about him. Like he is like, who are you supposed to be? He goes up to him, he looks at his like, he sizing him up. He looks at him and it's like, he thinks he's gonna fight me. Starts laughing at him. And the rest of the gorillas laugh with him. Like, look at this motherfucker right here, right? And then, you know, Kong gives him the business a little bit. Not gonna lie, he handles his stuff until Shimu or Shimo appears. So there's that. Godzilla really wasn't in the movie that much. But when he's there for a reason. Everything makes sense. And when him and Kong meet up again, he quickly reminds Kong that it's still on site. I don't care. You can still get these claws, get this breath. You can still get it. I mean, he was serving up everybody. He's like, anybody can get it. If you come to squabble, we can squabble. But you better know how to squabble. Because if you don't know how to squabble, you're getting wrecked. This was not the hero titan that they've made him out to be. He was just like literally a force of nature. And it's about fucking time. He was like, yo, I'm here to fuck these other monsters up. I'm not playing anymore. I got bigger things to worry about. I'm doing my training montage a different way. And that's by fighting. I'm not running up any mountains. I'm not chopping wood. I'm squashing other monsters and getting ready. I'm eating my radiation and getting big and strong because I know what's about to happen. So when it does finally happen, Godzilla was more than ready. Um, Notice I haven't talked about the human characters yet. Um, Dr. Andrews from Godzilla versus Kong is back. Gia is back. She's integral to the story, so she's important. Um, um, Bernie from Godzilla versus Kong is back. Millie Bobby Brown and Kyle Chandler not back. I wish they'd given Kyle Chandler more to do as what he was doing, given what he was, but it's whatever. Like he's not back. Uh, Millie Bobby Brown's not back. The goofy sidekick friend isn't back. Skarsgård's not back. But in the place of Skarsgård, or in that type of role, we've got Dan Stevens, who's there as this guy named Trapper. And he was just great. I loved his character. He was He was cool. He was kind of like this animal veterinarian. And like he just had this way about him to where there's a point where uh Bernie, Brian Tyree Henry's character, who's filming like everything's happening, and he kind of says to him, like, yo, like, think about what'll happen if you put this out there for the world. Like, this place is beautiful, and if you do that, it's gonna get fucked up. And it was kind of a moment that you're like, yeah, he's right. Like, this guy isn't just like wacky, like, new guy. He's there for a purpose, and he's great in this role. Dane Stevens was great. Rebecca Ferguson's really good. Is Dr. Andrews again, and I cannot remember the girl's name who plays Gia. She's really good too. And so there's a thing. Now, I haven't talked about Shimo much yet. Um, I don't know really what to say about Shimo or Shimu or whatever the monster's name is because I'm not sure how I feel about it necessarily. Um, not really a villain. I'll make that not really a villainous Titan. Um, more just like honestly was like a slave. She wasn't a villainous Titan. She was just a slave to the Scar King. She was not working with him willingly, it seemed like. So that gets paid off, and that was great. When that finally gets paid off, and it's like, yeah, you should handle this. You should get this one. So, needless to say, like I said, I enjoyed the movie for what it was. It's not gonna give you the character depth that minus one gave you. And I will say this again to be clear: if you go into this movie expecting that type of movie, you are begging to be disappointed in it because it's not that type of film. It is a film that is kind of like the old school monster movies where like Godzilla was teaming up and fighting other monsters. It's not super serious. It's not supposed to be super serious. It's one of those classic Saturday morning you're watching monster theater, and that's what you get. This is the type of movie you would get. It's fun. It's fun. You have a good time for the time it's running, and you're not gonna come out of it thinking like how deep it was or how it was this really, really in-depth character piece. You're not gonna come out of it like you did minus one. Like when I left minus one, I was blown away by like what I had seen, how they went where they went with it. But it's a different movie, and it has its funny moments. Like there's a point where Kong's like, I gotta get help because I'm gonna get I can't do this by myself. Let me get some help. So he goes up to the surface to kind of recruit Godzilla. And Godzilla just comes up, oh, you still want the smoke? And he's like, no, no, wait a minute, man. We got bigger problems over there. I need no. And Godzilla's like, because you can still get it. And he gets him. And like, it's great. Kong does get the upper hand for like 2 seconds, though. So it's not like Godzilla completely whoops his ass this time. Unlike Godzilla versus Kong, where let it be known, let it be clear, Godzilla whooped Kong's fucking ass, okay? There was no like ties or anything like that. Godzilla whooped his ass, okay? All you Kong fans out there, you can be mad about it, but the truth is, Godzilla got worked. So, or Kong got worked. Godzilla gave him all those hands and then some. So, in this, Kong got a little bit of his hit back a little bit. And then Godzilla reminded him again real quick, like, no, you can have that power glove all you want, but I still can whoop that ass whenever I want. Make no mistake about it. Especially now that I got the power upgrade. I'm stronger now than I was then. You can definitely get the smoke if you still want it. And it took some intervention to get the ass whooping stopped. So I'm not gonna say who shows up. I'm not giving away anything, but it took a third party to squash the beef between Godzilla and Kong. And it was cool as hell when they showed up. Um, so then, like I said, you get the big old monster melee. You get the image of Godzilla and Kong running side by side, and Godzilla riding Kong, or Kong riding Godzilla, and all that stuff happens. And you get the tag team match, and you get quite a. If you are a fan of pro wrestling, you get almost these tag team type scenarios where they tag off fighting each other, and it's great. If you're a wrestling fan, you gotta. If you're a wrestling fan, you will see a moment that will make you laugh your ass off that Godzilla does to Kong. And it's like picture perfect too. It's like he gets him up, and you're like, oh shit, he just did that. Or at least I was. But I'm a pro wrestling fan, so there you go. That being said, like I said, this movie is fun. It's good. I enjoyed it. My wife enjoyed it. Um, so there's that. So I recommend this movie. I give it 2 thumbs up, 8 out of 10, whatever you want to call it. Like, go see it. It's fun. Um, I want to close this video with something a little bit different than what I normally say. Obviously today's Easter Sunday, and that's cool. Happy Easter and all that good stuff. Um, but it's also my 2 year anniversary. My wife and I have been married for 2 years. Um, I probably wouldn't be doing this without her support. Actually, I know I wouldn't be doing this without her support. Um, so, in fact, she's calling me because our food's almost here. So, actually, I was going to end it real quick. Um, Baby, I love you. Um, I can't see myself spending my life with anybody else. Um, I gotta go get our food we're having delivered. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Peace.